As many of you know, I think out of all of the shows in politics, we may be the most swatted of 2022.
Yeah,
six so far. The latest incident that we're dealing with now, the bomb squad, surprise to me. I go outside and I see a bunch of vehicles pulling up, and then I see a guy get out. And he's got a shirt that says bomb squad on it. And I was like, oh, the bomb squad's at my house.
Huh.
And, you know, I can't say exactly what happened, but...
Any ideas?
Yeah, run.
Evacuate your team, Captain.
No, but sir, we can't disarm.
Leave.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
It's effectively a swatting, not the exact same thing.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? I think so. I don't really ever leave my basement very often. This is a tomb, probably, although I am moving out to the country in only a few weeks, maybe 6 weeks. It'll be probably a very different looking set, but the same old curmudgeon you know and love. Now, last night, after Tim Pool has now been swatted 6 times, things escalated last night, and actually, they look like they may have been worse than just a phone call. Maybe there was an actual package sent, some sort of actual, things getting very serious. And I'm very concerned for Tim. I'm also concerned that he keeps giving these people publicity. There's a lot to talk about what's going on and who I think is actually doing it. After a quick word from my most favorite sponsor, Meta PCs. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Meta PCs. Look, you've been around, you know that I've been talking about Meta PCs for a very long time. In fact, it's the primary computer I use. But it's not just because they're a sponsor. It's for so many more reasons. They have fully customizable, configurable PCs, and all the hardest to find parts in stock and ready to go. They also have ready to ship PCs ready for you today. Here's a couple reasons why I like Meta PCs. First and foremost, it's veteran ownership. Meta PCs is a veteran-owned business. One of Meta's owners has served both in Afghanistan and Iraq and received a Purple Heart for his service. Meta also employs military veterans in Meta's operations center and also provides systems to veterans going back to school to help them re-enter the workforce all across the United States. They offer financing. It has 100% US-based sales and support. And when you receive your PC, it's ready to go right out of the box. You don't have to get complicated and set things up. You just plug it all in and you're ready to rock. And on top of that, Meta PCs is offering you, my viewer, a huge discount when you use the link in the description or you use promo code TheQuartering. If you use my code at checkout, not only do you save money, but you support my content and a company that will not bow to cancel culture. So maybe you're not ready to pick up a new computer today, but when you are, remember to go to metapcs.com and use promo code TheQuartering to support me and to save money. And everybody wins. You might not be in the market right now for a new computer, but I will tell you this, they have stood by me through thick and thin. I use their product myself, and they are an awesome company. So when you're ready, make sure you use my promo code to get your next rig. You don't have to be a gamer. They have lots of options available, and it's nice to work with a company that's so awesome. Now, this started back in basically January, where Tim was basically getting regularly swatted. We can see, the media, the mainstream media is refusing to cover it, which is concerning to me, because if this were happening to someone they considered left-wing, notice I didn't say is left-wing, because the media claims Tim Pool is some sort of far-right lunatic when he's definitely not. He's certainly left-leaning in many issues, but it's a smear tactic that the media uses. It's one that they're currently using against Russell Brand, which I'm actually going to break down in a video later today as he's getting the Joe Rogan treatment. And I think it's a very interesting case study in how they're using the exact same tactics to try and deplatform him. But if this were happening to a popular, let's say the Young Turks, if the Young Turks were dealing with this every night, the media would be running endless articles talking about how it was racially motivated. You know, hey, Tim, I think he's half Asian, or he has Asian in his family. Like, where's all the Stop Asian Hate campaigns? You know, I firmly believe if he was viewed as a leftist in the media, they would be running articles about this all the time, and they probably would have already caught who's doing it. You know, one thing I've got to say about the people who are doing it, I have spoken with them, or people close to them, and they have rejected my $10,000 bounty. I guess you got to give them some credit for that. I mean, you have to give them some sort of credit for that, that they're not motivated by money. They just really hate Tim, apparently. And there's also some other nuggets that have been coming out here that are pretty interesting. So, you know, really the only person with any kind of journalistic integrity is Libby Emmons, because she continues to cover this over the Post Millennial. Thank God this wasn't an article written by that absolute loser, Ian Miles Chong. Breaking the actual squad, the BOMB squad, on the scene at Tim Pool Studio. And according to Tim, they actually had to call for backup. He seemed genuinely concerned that there's maybe some sort of mysterious package that ended up there, something of that nature. That's what I'm thinking. Tim Pool reported that the squad is at his studio where he records his Timcast IRL, along with other properties that are part of the Tim Pool content universe. Pool said that the events will not be filmed due to security reasons as recommended by the PD. He also said on air, as they discussed the incident, that there was an actual reason that the squad was deployed, and that he was concerned he might hear the house shake. You see this clip here.
We were swatted 6 times. Now we've had an incident where the bomb squad's been deployed, and, you know, I can't go into details, but there is a reason for why they're deployed. It wasn't the same as a swatting. Like, something actually happened. We have to be careful about discussing the full details. But it caused whatever happened was serious enough where they actually called reinforcements. So, like, I'm actually worried we're going to hear, you know, the house shake or something like that.
Yeah,
like, there may actually be something about to happen.
That's why I'm asking people pray. I mean, if you pray the rosary, but
it's actually insane. He writes, police have requested for security reasons that we do not film what's happening. And, you know, that is reasonable. It's a difficult position to let people know what's happening. Poole continued. You don't want to generate attention around these kinds of incidents, but if you don't, it's hard to be taken seriously when more serious things are happening. He's 100% right. I've had these things happen to me, and I've chosen to not kind of publicize them and not talk about it. For him, honestly, if he doesn't have any real genuine concern, then I don't really have a problem with him promoting it and using it for press. I really don't. I don't. I know some people may have a problem with that, but like, look, he's the one that's being inconvenienced. He's the one that's being stressed. He's the one that's being put in danger. Now, you could make the argument that this is only emboldening the people who are doing it, and you might be right. But also, would it mean that they would stop if he wasn't talking about it? I don't know. With these particular people that I've spoken to, I don't think they would stop. I think they're just going to keep doing it. I think that they've figured out a pretty secure way to keep doing this, a way in which they believe will not be brought back to them. Pool Studio has recently been swatted 6 times when an anonymous person or people call. And here's the thing. There was a second incident, the second incident in January was reported worse than the first one. Pool kept details of those incidents close as they represent ongoing security risk and are under investigation. People are going to get nuts in 2022. What the F were we talking about that warranted us to get, hurt on more than one occasion? Who updated viewers during the broadcast on the title of the episode, and all that stuff. Now, this was not exactly the same thing, so I'm guessing maybe something was delivered or dropped off. I don't know. As many of you know, I think all of these shows in politics, we made the most swatted in 2022, 6 so far. It's crossed state lines. The latest incident we're dealing with is now the squad. It was a surprise to me. I go outside, I see a bunch of vehicles pull up, and I see a guy get out, and he's got a shirt on that says the squad on it. He said, I can't say exactly what happened, but it's effectively the same as before, although not the same exact. And man, I've got to be careful about some details. Like, there's a lot, but maybe I can't actually say it. There's concerns, obviously, when we talk about the security issues pertaining to swattings or otherwise, that will highlight it and encourages it. And we've had PD tell us that before, and I'm like, you're right. And so some of those instances were not really talked about that much. The other concern is that making sure people are aware of what's going on is important for the safety and security in similar sense. I would hate to have something happen that would be unbelievable, confusing, or just I don't know how to exactly explain it. My concern was, if something keeps happening and we ignore it and people don't know it's happening, then something serious might happen. It'll take everyone by surprise. Maybe we should be like, hey, let's put attack in this. Something's happening. We have security issues. He said the title of the show is usually named while in the studio leading up to the showtime, but on that Tuesday, they had to title it while standing around in the yard with a bunch of local enforcement and what they assumed were actual federal agents trying to figure out if they should lead with the story or go about business as usual. It's concerning. When he tweets that kind of stuff out, you end up, I get why you have situations where, I'm not sure. You see here, I'm showing some footage on screen of the local law enforcement going through the house, checking things. Like these, officers now know that it's bunk. They know. You can even see, you could hear the local PD radio. Let me play you this.
Get a location on the call. Yeah, we're working on that now. She's trying to pull back up. All right. I'm pretty sure this is probably going to be a swatting call. They're shooting a political film inside the residence here. But I do want to check the
political film. I mean, I don't know, but that's an unflattering picture of Tim on there. There are people on the left that seem to be very, they're curiously quiet about this, and it's actually pathetic. Now, the charges for this seem to be much, much worse, facing up to 5 years of imprisonment. You see, various consequences about receiving these kind of threats. Obviously, you would have the what do you call it? What do the courts call it? Like factors that increase the severity, meaning like all the other times they've done this. But there's a lot. This is from the FBI's website, talking about people doing hard time. Here's a few examples of serious things that the FBI and our partners have investigated. 2 young men in Kentucky create a social media account in someone else's name and use it to make claims against a school. The 18-year-old was sentenced to 21 months, and the 19 was sentenced to 27 months. A young man in Texas used social media and a phone to issue these same types of threats against his school. He was 19 at the time of his sentencing. He was sentenced to more than 3 years in federal prison. A 21-year-old South Carolina man was sentenced to 1 year in federal prison after he sent a text message claiming there was a boom boom in the parking lot. An 18-year-old in North Carolina was sentenced to 22 months in federal prison and was ordered to pay restitution after he broadcast himself on the internet calling in the same type of threats. Like, they're going to figure out who this is, and they're going to do real time. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Like, I just really hope these kids don't ruin their life with this. But at this point, They seem incapable of being reasoned with. I can only hope that just Tim and his crew continues to stay safe. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you made it this far and you aren't currently subscribed, please make today the day you do so. We've started to build a nice little bit of momentum, and I'm convinced it's because people are actually going through the annoyance of creating an account and subscribing. People are actually finding my videos in search again, and it's because of your hard work doing that, and I really, really appreciate it. Obviously, it's free, and I would greatly appreciate it if you subscribed. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.